Welcome to this video on the Formatting Pane. You can download the exercise workbook to follow along in your own copy of Tableau. This content builds on the formatting video. We can open the Formatting Pane from the Format menu. This gives us easy access to specific aspects of formatting, such as font and alignment. Or by right-clicking on an element in the view and selecting Format. Either option will bring up the Format pane, which opens over the Data pane and needs to be manually closed when formatting is complete. The Format pane is contextual. It changes based on the item being formatted. Here it's on Market, which is the field whose header I clicked on. If we click around, whatever is selected will be the element that the Formatting pane pertains to. If we click in the white space of the view and select Format, here's the non-field specific layout, the same as we'd get from the Format menu. First, we see the types of format settings: font, alignment, shading, borders, and lines. Font allows us to control things such as the font itself, size, and color. Let's set the Worksheet font to be Times New Roman, size 10, and red. We can independently control things like the tooltip and totals. We're currently on the Sheet tab. Alternatively, we could work independently with the rows or columns and have our changes apply only at that scope. Once we've modified an option, that control becomes bold. This is an easy way to keep track of what changes have been made. It's also possible to clear any modifications down at the bottom of the pane. Our next formatting choice is alignment. Clicking on the drop-down for Default Pane, we see our options include horizontal, direction, vertical, and wrap. Pane controls the alignment inside the pane, such as mark labels. We'll make our pane direction vertical. Headers are things like the market and country names. We'll align those to be centered. Note that as we go along, often this isn't how we should format things. We're just trying to make it clear what's being impacted by each type of formatting. So we'll just clear this using the button at the bottom. Next is shading. Here, the new options are row and column banding. We can set the color for pane or header. Let's make them different so we can see what's going on. The band size here on the first tick mark makes the band shading alternate every other. The second tick is groups of 2 and 3, etc. The level is where the bands are grouped. Here it's at the country level. Adjusting the slider makes the grouping at the market levels. And now we need to bring it back down to every other to be able to see what's going on. Which field is considered the header depends on the level of the banding. If it's shaded at the market level, market is the header. If it's shaded at the country level, country is the header. We'll clear this out so we can see what comes next. Let's format our borders. Borders are the lines that surround the table, pane, headers, etc. We can see what each piece does by playing with it. Let's make our default header a thin, dashed, gold line. Note where that impacts the view. For clarity, we'll turn it back to none. What about the row and column dividers? Pane, again, is the view. We'll set it to be a dotted orange line and make it a little thicker. Note that the header will automatically match, though this can be adjusted manually. The level, again, controls where the divider goes. Here it's between the markets. If we bring it up, now it's between the countries. The column divider is much the same. Watch the line between the order priorities at the top of the view. Let's turn off the default header line. Note that the line between the order priorities went away, but we'll clear this again. The last of our major formatting choices is lines. Lines are easier to see on a scatter plot, as they include items such as grid lines, zero lines, trend lines, etc. Let's make our grid lines green, our zero lines dashed, our trend line nice and thick, and reference line we'll make dotted. A common confusion is between border, the box here, and lines. For example, grid lines in a scatter plot may look like the box icon, but they're not borders around cells or panes. They're lines, so they live under the line icon. Another way to clear all this formatting is by coming to the Clear Sheet icon and selecting Clear Formatting. Once we've got a worksheet formatted exactly as desired, it's often easier to be able to carry that formatting through to other worksheets. Here's a scatter plot formatted just how we want it. We also have another scatter plot. We want to have the same formatting we did on the first. We'll right-click on this Sheet tab and say Copy Formatting. Right-click on the destination and select Paste Formatting. Note what is copied and pasted. Worksheet formatting only. The mark type, color, sizing, and reference lines are view-specific, so those don't transfer. But the axis formatting and things like lines did copy. A quick way to remember this is that formatting done in the Format pane will copy and paste. Formatting done in the View will not. Finally, we can set the font at the level of the workbook. Click on the Format menu and select Workbook. Here we can control all the fonts in the workbook for a unified, consistent experience across the entire workbook. Thank you for watching this video on the Formatting pane. We invite you to continue with the free training videos to learn more about using Tableau.